If you're not mixing your songs like this, they will not sound professional. So do this. Yo, Wagwan, hope you're having a great day. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to mix your songs using stems in Studio One. Now you can do this in any DAW. I'm just going to be using Studio One because that's the DAW that I personally use to mix my songs and whatnot. So I'm going to be using Studio One 5, but apply this to your DAW, apply this to whatever recording software you use, and make sure to watch all the way through to the end because this is going to give you some great insights into how I mix my music and how you can mix your songs. Okay, if you don't know who I am, I'm Jay Carter from jcarterray.com, teaching you how to be better at music, online business and online marketing. This is the #1 spot for musicians and creatives that don't want to be starving artists. So if that sounds like you, click on that subscribe button, check out the rest of the content on the channel because you will love it here, guaranteed. Now before we get into this, quick question of the day is, what DAW do you use? Let me know in the comment section down below, and yeah, let's get straight into this. So wow, this is still loading, so I'm gonna give it a little bit to load and I'll get right back to you. Okay, so here we are. This is one of my songs called Obama. Let me give you a quick sneak peek. Send them drones, they'll still love me like Obama. A-8 hoes like Osama. They don't wear no clothes in my casa. Let my hair flow like a rasta. Okay, great stuff. Now here are the stems. Okay, all these vocal recordings, we've got the stems. Now generally when I'm recording a song, I record it to a WAV version of the beat. So here you can see the WAV version of the beat here ready to go, and I'll turn it down a few decibels. Like this one has been turned down -2.5, so that's where I'll put the beat. Sometimes I'll turn it down more than that, and I'll basically just create my vocals around that, and then when I'm ready to mix the song, that's when I'll bring in the stems. So I recently had an email from a customer who purchased some of my beats, and he basically was telling me that he'd never used stems before, he didn't know how to use them and whatnot. So I thought this would be a great video to make for other people who are having a similar problem, and for that gentleman that has never used stems before. So in order to use stems, when you purchase one of my beats that comes with stems, which you'll get on specific licenses, let me quickly double check which licenses actually come with stems. It's the professional license and above. If you purchase the professional license and above, you will be able to get stems. Let me just make sure that this is using the FL Studio samples. All right, great. So you did hear when I played you that feedback or whatever. So with these stems, you'll get every element that was in the song. Okay, the only thing that you don't need is the master track. So when you bring everything in, you can delete the master track. The master track will just show you what the beat was supposed to sound like, in my personal opinion. Okay, what I wanted the beat to sound like with all the mastering effects and all that sort of stuff. But you also have the WAV track to compare that to as well. Now when you import these stems will be considerably less loud or quieter than the master track and quieter than the WAV track, because the WAV track and the master track actually has mastering on it. These stems do not have any mastering on it, which is what you need if you want to actually mix a song and then get it mastered. You don't want to have a mastered beat and then record over that and then get it mastered again, because that's just weird and it won't sound as good as it could sound. You want mastering to be done at the end with all of the elements. So basically with this, all you need to do is copy everything, or select everything, my bad, not copy everything, select everything, and then drag this in to your project. So I could drag this right down there, and this will basically add a bunch of tracks that will just add my new stems. Okay, so it adds everything in there, including that master track, and what I do is I just get rid of that master track. Just right click, remove that track. Now I'm gonna undo this so that we don't just have a bunch of tracks that are doing the same thing, because that doesn't make any sense. And I'll kind of give you some insight into how I mix with my stems. So what I would do is I basically use this to I will click on this and I'll raise my stems, raise the actual volume of these plus 4.1 dB generally. Okay, now depending on how you've recorded your vocals, you may not want to do that. It may be like the perfect volume. Now I'm generally, in future, I'm gonna lower the beat volume a little bit more than -2. I might lower it like -6 and get my vocals around there, and then when I import my stems, they'll be around the same great volume. But generally, because I've already mixed the beat, I don't really need to do much mixing with the stems. Now this, personally, this mixing stage is just for fine tuning and making sure that everything is where it needs to be. Because I mix my beats, I already get everything generally where I want it to be before I even get to this stage. So this will just be listening back to this beat, listening back to the vocals, and listening back to a reference track to basically hear if there's any changes that need to be made. Generally, the changes will be made with like the hi-hats or a snare, or maybe a perk's too loud or something. Let me see if I did change the hi-hats. What's the hi-hats on? No, pretty much kept everything the same on this track, I believe. Let's see, verse guitar. Nope, everything's plus 4.1. So everything is the exact same volume as when I exported it from FL Studio in the first place and exported the beat into stems. So generally, if the beat has been mixed well, you won't really need to do much work in this area. But the stems offer great flexibility in actually mixing your song. If you were just going to use the beat track, then you'd have basically no flexibility in mixing your song. Everything would have to sound how it sounds in this track. The most you can do is do some EQing, and I have done that before with a song where someone sent me a beat and they didn't have the stems, which is a terrible experience. So I don't want to go through that again. But maybe I'll make a video in the future where I'll show you just how to mix your track to a WAV beat, because I think a lot of people will get a lot of value for that. Let me know if you will in the comment section down below. But basically with the stems, you just drag them in, maybe raise the volume if need be, and then you have the freedom to change the volumes of pretty much every element of the beat. So if we was to just single this out, you'll hear that this is just the chorus guitar. If we unsingle this out, you'll realize that there's a whole lot of song that comes around that. But having the option to manipulate this chorus guitar by itself or manipulate this chord art by itself is great stuff, because now I can be like, this is a bit too low, maybe I want to boost it up, or maybe it's too high and I want to hear even less, or maybe I want to pan it to the right or pan it to the left, and so forth. And because I've got the stems, I'm able to do that. So that's basically why you would want stems, or some people call them trackouts. I forgot to include that at the beginning of the video, but stems or trackouts. And that's basically what you do with them in order to mix your song. Now, I will do more in-depth videos on specifically how to mix your song, but honestly, I want to finish this mixing book that I'm reading before I get deep into doing mixing videos and stuff like that, because I know I'm going to learn a bunch of stuff and I'm going to come and rehash those things if I make a video about that right now. So I just wanted to give you an overview into how to use stems, how to import it into your project, how you would use stems in a mixing session. For example, at the beginning of this beat, like, one guy was, I think the gentleman that emailed me, he wanted to get rid of my tag at the beginning of the beat. So in order to do that, all you need to do, an example, is delete this beat tag stem. So let's hear that. This is called great cooking. So as you see, that's this stem. If I was to delete that, you don't hear it, right? There is no, this is Carteret cooking. it's gone. All right, that's how you delete stuff, so you can get rid of elements of the song that you don't like. For example, I've got some beats that I made ages ago where I've got some counter melodies that are just they're just naff, you know. They're like, the counter melody spoils the whole beat. The beat was good until the counter melody came in. So if you purchase that beat with stems, you'd be able to take that out. Okay, so that's a great thing with stems as well. But it basically allows you to mix the song properly and to mix it to your taste, so you get every level exactly where you want it to be, instead of just going with what the person who made the beat went with, because maybe they didn't mix it correctly, or maybe you want one specific thing to be gone, or you want it to be louder, or you want it to be lower. Okay, so that's that. I hope this video helped you out. If you got any questions or any other tutorials you want me to make, please leave those in the comment section down below. And before you go, I've got something that will help you out a lot. If you are recording your own songs at home, something which will help you out a bunch is a vocal mixing template. And I've actually created my Spotify ready vocal mixing template for Studio One and FL Studio if you're using that. And all you need to do is go to jcarterray.com/vocal templates to go and check those out. Now, with these templates, they come with all the plugins and all the settings that I personally use to mix my vocals. And as soon as you load this up and you plug your vocals in with the correct plugins and all that sort of stuff, your vocals are going to sound Spotify ready. They're going to sound super clean. They're going to sound beautiful. Okay, it's going to stop your vocals sounding muddy, and it's going to save you a bunch of time, because your vocals are going to be half mixed before you even get to the mixing stage. Generally, when I'm mixing, I don't even do much to these vocals, to be honest. All I need to do is maybe turn certain things down, but generally I'm not adding any more effects or anything like that. Usually I'm just going with the template and we're just done. Like, we're just done, really. So go and check that out. Link is in the description, and you can go to the link that I told you about, jcarterray.com/vocal templates, and check that out. Trust me, it's going to save you a bunch of time, and it's going to make your songs just sound way better. So in the next video, you're going to learn more about music, online business, and online marketing. I'll see you there. Peace out.